You are now tuning in to the Val and Val Show, where conversation is art, 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 art. Conversation is art, conversation is art. You should chime in, ain't no telling what to spark on the Val and Val Show. Ain't no telling the Val and Val Show. You know, ain't no telling where we go on the Val and Val Show. Ain't no ceiling, cause the art of conversation is the flow. It's that creativity available when we speak, available in our homes, available in the streets. We just trying to get it sparking and take it a little deeper. Keep it casual while fireside chatting with our people. Yeah, we take it a little deeper. It get hot when we fireside chatting with our people. Cause conversation is art, conversation is art. You should chime in, ain't no telling what'll spark on the Val, the Val and Val Show, the Val and Val Show.
Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the show. We had a little technical difficulty, but I think we got it worked out. You know, that's life. Good thing about COVID, it helped us relax. We don't be sweating the small stuff anymore. We learn life is truly short. So welcome, everyone. Glad to have you all. And I am looking forward to tonight's show because I get to showcase two beautiful, wonderful ladies who just happen to be pharmacists, PharmDs. You know, I'm in healthcare too, but these are beautiful melanotic sisters, okay? And I just know God had me cross their paths. Actually, within days of each other, I met one, then I met the other one. So I was like, okay, Lord, what you telling me? And I will tell you what he told me when I bring Dr. Jennifer on first. Hopefully Dr. Pauline could come on, but she was out making some deliveries. So as I always do, y'all know I don't give y'all a whole lot of information about our guests. I let them tell you, but I'm going to get some announcements done first so I can tell you about some things that we need. So again, welcome to Conversation is Art. Glad you all are joining us. Please like and share our page and also definitely share this tonight. So as you all know, my former co-host, Valton Johnson, he's moving right along with his cinematic career, as I would say. He's going to have a big youth film fest in Birmingham in 2025. And this is to help our children be engaged, for them to learn something more than football or baseball or the traditional things that we have our kids in. He is actually teaching them all things about producing. And that's far more than just acting. The background is what really brings forth all the other things. So if you can donate to help fund this, you can donate at youthfilmfest.org, youthfilmfest.org. He would be very much appreciative of that. And you also know, as I shared last week, that one of our great songstresses that come on Conversations Art every now and then, Sharon Ray North, is releasing a new Christmas Christmas song. It's Everything I Asked For, featuring Kevin Flournoy. So please go out there and already pre-save this. It's going to be released on November 22nd, and she has a beautiful voice. Last but not least, there's some jobs out here in this world. God Sitting Partners, LLC, a home care service, is growing in leaps and bounds. So if you are looking for a job and you are mentally stable, you don't have sticky fingers, and you're not abusive or have a history of violence, they would like for you to come work with them. You can apply at godsittingpartners.com /caregivers, or you can call 205-259-1687. So again, welcome to our show. Welcome to our show. So look, I'm going to jump right in and tell you just a little bit about Jennifer S. Campbell, PharmD. She graduated from Sanford University, McWhorter School of Pharmacy in May 2000. So she been at it a little bit, a little bit. She been at it. She's had in her career, she's been a pharmacy manager, but now she is one of the co-owners of MedsPlus Consultant, which is much more than a pharmacist. Their motto is bridging the gap and bridging the healthcare gap. And I'm telling you, when I met her and Dr. Pauline, I was just enamored, because they have a passion for what they do, and it exceeds just handing out pills and medicine. As I advertised, it said it's more than just the med. Oh, Dr. Pauline has shown up too. So look, y'all, I'm working new equipment. These folks went and updated on me sooner than I thought. So we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure it out. Hey there.
Hello, hello. How are you?
All right, all right. So you
Good.
all, hey, Dr. Jennifer, a little bit blurred. She having some connectivity issues. I told her she must live way in the country. She must live way in the country. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna switch this around a little bit, put me in the middle of you
Ooh, I like
all.
that.
Yeah.
All
So how
right.
y'all doing tonight?
Doing wonderful.
We're
How are
good.
you?
Look, I'm not tired, but I got up at 5 o'clock, drove to Huntsville for a health equity seminar that I definitely want to be a part of. And they was doing the wrap up. I said, listen, I got to hightail it on back to Birmingham because I got some stars coming on tonight. I got some stars coming on tonight. And I was not about to be stuck in the traffic.
Mm-hmm.
Because it took me 20 minutes to get off of, 565 to 65 in Huntsville. It was only 14 miles, but they are growing and they trying to figure out how to keep up with all that growth.
They are. They are.
They are. So welcome. So look, I'm going to start with Dr. Jennifer first. And as I shared with her, Dr. Pauline, I let you all tell people about you all background. I'm not finna sit here and read all this stuff. You all can tell people about yourself.
That's good.
It's like we laid back, just a fireside chat is what I call it. So, Dr.
I
Jennifer,
love it.
tell the people about you.
Well, as you stated, first off, I love your intro. I just wanted to say that. I was jamming
Thank you.
to that. Love the intro. Thank you for the invitation. It is a pleasure meeting you and you for having us on. So, graduated from Sanford University, McWhorter School of Pharmacy in 2000. And then I went to retail or community pharmacy, held several positions, pharmacy manager, pharmacy supervisor, district manager, when I was managing multi-unit stores. So from there, I had a setback. I thought I was kind of set for retirement. But then there was a shakeup in the corporate or district level, and I was laid off or decided to be laid off. So that brought about a change where I decided that, you know what, I need to do something different, sharpen up on my clinical skills because I had been in leadership positions, managing, training, developing people, and talked to Pauline, which we've known each other for 20 plus years, talking off and on, and she was looking to do something different as well. So long story short, after those conversations, MedsPlus Consulting was born in 2018.
Okay, well, great. That's great. Listen, y'all heard that, right? So y'all get comfortable in them good old jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And when they get ready to settle that bottom line, they don't care how much you stayed up at night. They don't care how many miles you traveled. So y'all did a big pivot. It was kind of like, wait a minute. This is me. If you're going to be working hard and sacrificing, it might as well be for you.
Absolutely.
So hopefully, everyone is listening to that. I know for me, being a nurse, I've always worked for an organization, but one thing I've always had my separate investments for outside of the work retirement, because these people will, hey, pink slip you, come knock on your door and come turn your computer off.
Back
And it's,
in your box.
yeah, like you stole something. You
Mhm.
have to be ready. So that's great. So you've done a lot. I'm glad they made a pivot, because I wouldn't have met y'all had that not
That's true.
have happened. So, Dr. Pauline Long, tell us about you.
Yeah, so hello everybody. I am Dr. Pauline Long. I am originally from Bessemer, Alabama. Went to
You gotta say it right. You know we don't say it that
Bessemer.
proper.
It doesn't have an R on the end. It does not have an R on the end. I am from Bessemer, or as they're saying now, Big Bessemer.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because it's growing out there.
That's the thing now, is Big Bessemer. So yeah, grew up in Bessemer. Went to University of Montevallo for my undergraduate degree. I got my BS there. And just kind of trying to decide what I wanted to do. I was on kind of the med school track at Montevallo. And when I was able to graduate, I was like, I don't know whether I want to go into genetics or research or, go to med school. And true story, I actually decided on pharmacy school because at the time, it was the one graduate program that did not require an entrance exam. So, law school, you had to take the LSAT, medical school, you had to take the MCAT, even graduate school, you had to take the GRE. Well,
Just unnecessary stress.
Yeah, exactly. So pharmacy was one you didn't have to have an entrance exam. And I like chemistry, I like biology, I like patient interaction. So I thought, why not? So I applied to Sanford, got in, and that part is history. Graduated. Well, actually, that's how I met Jennifer. So in 2001, when I was accepted into Sanford, I thought, well, I'm in pharmacy school, I may as well get a pharmacy job. So I went down to the local Walgreens in Bessemer. Jennifer was the pharmacy manager. We interviewed, she hired me, and our relationship started there back in 2001.
Okay, now stop right there. Y'all
Yeah.
heard that. See, don't be going on these jobs acting crazy. You don't know who you're working with and who you may be bonding with.
That's
Listen,
right.
So remember that now. Jennifer was the manager.
Mm-hmm.
So Jennifer was her boss.
That's right.
So now, okay.
And now
continue.
we're partners.
That's right. They're partners. So point that out.
Yes. And now we're partners. So worked throughout pharmacy school, graduated, and actually moved to Huntsville because the company at the time was giving sign-on bonuses. And so I was like, I'm following the money. I just got married and my husband was like, let's go. So we moved to Huntsville. You were just talking about Huntsville.
Mm-hmm.
We moved there for a little less than 5 years. Had our first child and decided to come back home. And around 2017, I was very comfortable in my job. I felt like I could do it with my eyes closed, very, very comfortable until I wasn't. And that's how I knew it was time for me to pivot. The saying that God has to bring you out of that comfort zone in order to put you in the path of your purpose. He definitely did that. I got to the point where I would some days feel ill going into work.
Ooh, yeah.
So I just knew, I would call my mom leaving work and I would be in tears because I was just so frustrated. I could do the job. I did it well, but I wasn't supposed to be in there anymore. That season was over.
Gotcha.
So Jennifer and I connected, many times over the years, but in 2017, we started saying, hey, let's work on some things. We were both working on kind of consulting companies, and we decided to merge and put them together. And that's when MedsPlus started.
Well, that's great. That's great. Now, I hope you all catching these nuggets, right? You heard Dr. Pauline say she was headed down one path. As you can tell, she would have been a wonderful doctor, physician, medical doctor. She's still a doctor, just a pharmacist, a doctor of pharmacists, which is much needed. Because in case y'all don't recognize it, these are the expert in your medicines. Okay.
Correct.
That's who you need to be talking to about all these medicines. And when you run around the corner to all these Vita Plus and stuff, with your other medication, you need to be talking to them too first.
Mm-hmm.
So one about to find you passed out, or even sometimes the medicine don't work as well, which they would get into that. So I am so happy that you all followed the path that God had for you and decided to birth this company, because I know MedsPlus consultants. So that tells you all they do much more than just hand out pills. And you all remind me of, because when I grew up in my small hometown, of course we did not have any black pharmacists. However, the white gentleman, Mr. Rexall, I mean, he was very educating even back then. I didn't realize it, but it was very personable, the way he educated people to the extent that you had back then. Also, he was a pharmacist that if you needed your meds, being black or whatever, because I grew up with the Creek Indians and stuff, he was going to give you that medicine and tell you, come back and pay me when you can, when you get paid. And of course, everything now, we know Big Pharma, some of these prices are, they're not ridiculous. I don't even have a word for what they are. I say capitalism on super steroids is what I call it. So you said you launched this in 2018. 18. So y'all just kicking right along, right?
Well,
getting everything set up.
We had some more pivots in there.
Yeah. Okay, let's tell about these pivots then, because I don't want y'all to think this was easy.
So in 2018, we formulated the consulting part, how we were going to help patients to bridge that gap in healthcare, being on the front lines in the pharmacy. We were able to see where patients were being prescribed medications. They weren't picking them up, the doctor calling in higher strengths of the medication. Then there's an event that's happening. So the whole education piece was missing. So we started that. So mind you, we're both working our respective corporate pharmacy jobs. So I did too later go back into the pharmacy to work. But when I went back, I had a different mindset. And that mindset was to gather information, make the connections, make the relationships to where I could possibly introduce what we do and see that there's a need for that. So 2018, 2019, 2020, COVID.
Yeah.
So in between that time, we had started going to different business accelerators, making sure that we're being seen in the community in the way we could. And in 2021, the vaccine became available. We were actually called to see if we could be a part of the community vaccine clinics for COVID in the inner cities. So we know we had a lot of those clinics over the mountain, et cetera, but we needed more in the inner cities. So because we had formulated, we had our website, all the things that we needed to be able to sit at the table, to do a proposal, to tell them what we needed and how to do it, we were able to do that in our first church, where we serviced almost 400 people in that weekend.
Wow. Okay, that's great.
So that's where the pivot happened, in that the community needed us. So that plan, that stepwise approach, it totally did a 180. And from there, we became somewhat recognized because whenever you're in the community and you're doing certain services, they think you may belong to another larger organization, even though you may have orange and gray and different colors on, they still want to connect you with this other larger organization. So we were becoming known and doing different things. So that was COVID was our biggest pivot.
And let me talk about COVID, because I was on a hospital's team, vaccine team. I actually coordinate the scheduling, and I had to be an advocate to say, hold up, you all got to move from Hoover and go to the inner city. And yes, I'm gonna take credit. That's why Parker went up, because Miss Valerie was cutting up. Okay, I was cutting
Good
up.
for you.
No, Not on our watch. Okay. It ain't
Mm-hmm.
happening.
You're right.
But what you said, I know COVID was terrible. It was terrible. But I always tell people, and y'all know this is I'm a believer. They are too. So we talk Jesus on here. If you got a problem with scripture and stuff, this is not
Uh-huh.
the place for you.
Mm-hmm.
But stay, you might just get to know him. Let me throw
That's
that
right.
out there. As bad as it was, so many things, God still worked it for your good. The fact that you were able, start giving the vaccines and everything. And even though they tried to, pair you as being with someone else,
Mm-hmm.
but I still didn't know who y'all were. I was when I met you at Railroad Park, I was like, where you been? Where y'all came from? What is
Yeah.
this?
Uh-huh.
You all, I almost did not come down there, but Demichico is my church member and he's on my heel team. So
Mm-hmm.
I was tired of that. I'm just gonna go through there. Lord, I think I stayed down there 2 hours because you all, I discovered, and it's not only about Black owned, but it is. Okay, let
Mm-hmm.
me tell you that, because when you see people that look like you just feel safer. I'm just keeping it real.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you get to know them, because I found so many mental health therapists, it was like there are Black entrepreneurs here, you all,
Mm-hmm.
in a great facet of the medical world.
Mm-hmm.
Pharmacy, independent nurse practitioners, to the point that you can be here in Alabama. I was just floored, which led me. I was like, wow. And after being in healthcare 36 years and not seeing this, I was just like a kid in the candy shop. Okay, I got all the cards every now and then I take them out and just go through them, looking at all. I'm talking about y'all from very young people to more mature people. The brother Let's Talk mental health, just wonderful. So I mean, I was just like a little kid. I told everybody about y'all.
Thank
and,
you.
and and let me share this with you before we go on. The first thing I did, I got home. I said, Mr. Jones, we finna transfer our prescriptions
Mm-hmm.
from big chain
Mm-hmm.
down. Yes. Do we have to go downtown and park? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Go inside, catch the elevator to the 8th floor? Yes. But guess what? They can't grow without our support. And the big chain started the same way. We just don't know that. So we've
Yes.
got to be a little inconvenienced. And you really want to be inconvenienced because some of y'all need to walk and exercise anyway. So you get some steps in when you park and go to get your meds.
But you know what, Miss Valerie, I love that you said that, because number one, going back to the Railroad Park, there are so many resources in our communities that we are not aware of because we
Yes.
don't show up. We've been at, I mean, I would say for the majority of the month, at least twice a week, we are out at some type of community event, whether it's a church health fair, a community health fair. And oftentimes there will be more vendors there than actual participants. And that's unfortunate because, as businesses, as a community, we have a lot to offer our community members, but a lot of us are not aware of it because we won't come outside of our homes. So that's the first thing you said that really struck me. We have to keep our ear to the ground and make sure that we're aware of what's going on in our community. And when
Yeah.
people have something, when your church has something, if your neighborhood has something, get outside of your home and actually go. You never know what you'll find, just like you found us. And the
Yeah.
second thing that you said that I really want to reiterate is support small businesses. We have been at events where people come up and we've had grandmothers and young people look at us almost with tears in their eyes, so proud to see two
Yeah.
Black women pharmacists who own their business. And after they tell us how proud they are and how just amazed they are that we own our own pharmacy and we're taking care of patients, they walk away. And we're like,
Yeah.
one way to show how proud you are is to support us. Because here's the
Mhm.
thing, we can't stay in business if we don't have patients and customers. So that's, support us when you come up to our table and you're able to talk to us and you see that we're two, both of us kind of grew up in West End. I moved to Bessemer. Jennifer moved, she stayed in Birmingham. Like we are from Birmingham, grew up, raised in Birmingham, and we're now here serving Birmingham. That means something. So
It
support.
does.
That's how you show that you're proud.
Don't
So
be saying that's good, babies. Transfer them scripts.
I'm
Well, as a matter of fact,
saying that as a nice way to say,
well, I can say it a little differently. Hey, you got to be professional. I can be a little edgy with it. Transfer those scripts, okay? And look, you all, seamless. Y'all, they operate just like the big chains, okay? They handle all that for you. You give them the information. Y'all, they electronic. They ain't down there typing on no typewriters, okay? They high tech, okay? They got, they high tech, okay?
Yes.
Let me tell you all that.
Yes.
And yes, make the sacrifice, y'all, to transfer your prescriptions to them. And y'all, you're going to get so much more. You're going to get so much more. My husband, he probably hadn't had education regarding diabetes probably since he first got diagnosed. And I'm not so sure the level of what he had. It was just treated. But baby, listen, Dr. Jennifer took him down through it. Look, she don't educate him, okay?
Yes.
Now, I don't know whether he's complying or not, but he knows up front. And they don't necessarily want you to stay on your meds if you don't need to. They want you to be healthy and whole. So that's what I love, the holistic approach that you all have. So I love it. I love it. So tell the people some of the things y'all do. I know y'all go to churches. They've been to my church. Dr. Jennifer was my moderator for a panel we had a couple of weeks ago. And going back to what you say about calm, Dr. Pauline, look, my church big, based on the number of people, maybe not even 2% of the membership. We have got to understand that along with the external factors we fight about disparities in care, we've got to deal with our own internal things that we don't participate. We accept things as, yes, some of it's genetic, but the most of our stuff, we could manage it ourselves. So speak to what you all approach in bridging the gap in healthcare, and it's more than just the meds. What's your approach to helping to break down some of the barriers within the Black community for becoming more healthy?
Jennifer, you want to start or?
You know she do. Look at her. She ready to jump.
So I would say one of the first things in helping to break down the barriers is, number one, understanding what those barriers are. What are those things that are keeping you from, I hate to be cliche, but living your best life?
Yeah.
So number one, you get your prescriptions filled. Is it at a pharmacy that really cares about the medications that you're showing improvement? Do understand what you're taking, why you're taking it, how you should be taking it. Are they helping you to be, or are they being an advocate for you between you and your physician? Sometimes there are medications that require prior authorizations. And the reason because of that is they're more expensive, but the insurance will cover them. So is that pharmacist being an advocate for you to help you to get that medication, bridging that gap between the physician and the insurance company. Also, what's that educational component of your level of understanding? So sometimes we can see, or I've seen where some patients that we've met them in their home disconnect with understanding how to take the medication or not taking it correctly. You know, how do we reach that person? How do we educate them to be able to understand? And sometimes you got to use different methods. Some people do well with the blister packs. So that's one of the things that I would say for our community, we didn't know too much about. And Dr. Pauline and I, we've been very vigilant or diligent with making sure people are aware of the benefits of having the packs, particularly if you're on 5 or more medications. So We've seen people where their medications have been decreased or what you call deprescribing because that medication is no longer needed because now they've started taking the medication as it should be. And now there's not a need for maybe that dose they were on before or an additional medication because now they're being adhered to therapy to where it's actually working.
Yeah.
So, number one, understanding what that your healthcare team, you're the center, and if you don't know what to look for, then how do you help make those decisions? So that's where we like to play that role into helping you to be able to make those decisions for your healthcare and your healthcare team.
And that's great.
I was about to say, I just like to put into like practical terms what that means. So we've encountered patients. I'll talk about a patient in particular who was a member of our diabetes education class. So we teach diabetes education classes in the community. We go to community libraries and actually teach you how to self-manage diabetes so that your outcomes can improve.
Mm-hmm.
We had a patient who was a member of the class, and she was on multiple doses of insulin per day, really high doses of insulin per day. And her A1C wasn't as controlled as we would like it to be. So Dr. Jennifer spoke with the patient, spoke with the provider, talked about some ways to possibly decrease the number of injections she's having to use by potentially changing her medication regimen, adding another medication, but overall the number of doses she'd take would decrease because of this additional medication. The doctor agreed. The patient, we were able to make the changes, and now the patient is actually taking less insulin than she was before. And as we're able to increase her on the other medication, we're going to steadily decrease her on the number of insulin injections. Those are the kind of changes that we're talking about. We are partnering with patients and their healthcare providers to improve their health outcomes. And that's kind of practically what that looks like.
Well, let me ask you this, because I got to ask this question. Being two Black females, how have you been received? Number one, the community and among the other pharmacies, the big ones and everything, and also physician wise, when you call and you may say, "Hey, have you considered this?" How's that going?
Well, I'll say for one, by the community, again, people are very excited, very proud that there are two Black female pharmacy owners. So that's that. The patients who we've been able to transfer into our pharmacy are just over the moon excited about the services that we provide.
Yeah.
So from the medication management, and I think your husband went through something similar, where we took a look at, it wasn't just about transferring the prescriptions and just filling them as he calls and asks for them. It's about looking at everything in totality, saying, is this the best medication regimen for his health conditions?
Yeah.
And that's called the medication review. We look at everything. Most pharmacies, and this is something interesting about doctors, very rarely do you have a pharmacy that gets a new patient and will call the doctor and request an updated medication record. We do that as a part of our onboarding process, because a lot of times the records that the pharmacy has may be very different from the records that the doctor has. And we, as a pharmacy, we need to reconcile that. We need to do a medication review and reconcile those two lists, again, to make sure you're on the most optimized medication regimen. So that's something that we do that other pharmacies don't do. So in the community, we're well received by our patients that we take care of. They love us. I mean, they're like, we got to do. I'm sharing y'all with my friends and my family.
We do.
So everybody is very, very excited. And then we offer delivery services. So a lot of our patients are seniors who may have mobility issues. They may have barriers to care, such as transportation. We actually deliver the medications to their homes so that they don't have to worry about making it out to the pharmacy, or worse off, paying someone to go pick up their prescriptions. We actually have a delivery service that delivers it to their home. And that's how we kind of go above and beyond traditional pharmacy services.
Okay, y'all, I'm putting it in here. Delivery service, no excuse for not becoming.
Yeah, so
no
you don't have to
excuse.
come downtown and try to find a parking space.
Right.
But those of you that need them steps, go on
Get your
downtown.
steps. Yes.
And honestly, it's not been hard. I mean, you park either out front most time or on that side street, and you just go in and get your meds. I tell you, I went for my physical October 24th. It was time for my refill. And when my doctor got through, she said, well, okay. She said, I need to send your meds over. And I said, oh, I have a new pharmacist. And she said, okay, what is it? She said, oh, they already sent me a request. She said, oh, they already sent me a request. Look. The other big pharmacists I had never did that.
Yeah.
They would send me a message and
Saying,
tell
call
me.
your doctor.
So all she had to do was fill it. You know what I'm saying? So that right there, I was like, okay, go on, MedsPlus. Go on,
I love it. I love it.
And I just want to add on to something to the conversation. I think a lot of times we're so used to chaos, disorganization, mediocre customer service to where there's another option. People are afraid of it. It's a weird dynamic, but I had a conversation with a couple one time that came to the pharmacy to get their immunizations. So I said, y'all decided you're going to transfer? And they're like, well, no, we're going to stay with such and such. I said, okay. I said, did they come to your church and do X, Y, Z? Well, no. But, they just right around, yeah, we do have to stand in line or the drive-through is long, but, that's where we've been going all these years. I said, okay, but we're right here and we can, so you about it. And when they had to come back, they said, you know what, we ready. But there's something in that hesitation that strikes me as odd. But people are afraid of change. And they're used to the disorganization or the chaos that they've become accustomed to. And it's also, it seems as though people are comfortable with complaining. At least they know what they're going to get, whether it's good or bad, mostly bad, but they're comfortable in it. But we've got to stop accepting less and knowing that more is available and how to require that or how to acquire that. And that's a part of our process when we bring patients on board and we go above and beyond. And then they know, oh, this is how it should be.
Yeah.
Oh,
listen, y'all, if y'all order meds off Amazon, go see them. You order meds off Amazon.
Right.
They ain't even talking to you for real.
Go y'all chatting on the computer.
Look, I'm typing this in. Listen, everybody on here, that's a customer. I need you, when we get off here, go to that page, put up your testimony. I love doing reviews, Google reviews and all that stuff. Look, I got so many out there. I be getting thank yous because
you send you a link.
Look, I'm serious. I do them. And that's something else, you all. If you have a good service, give a testimony of that. On the flip side, if something doesn't go like you think it should, don't go on social media and put people on blast. Have a conversation and see. You all, they're going to be missteps. Everything is not going to be seamless. Y'all ain't stop going to them other big farms and they don't give y'all some of the wrong pills. My grandmother, who's now resting with the Lord, she lived to be 99, but when she was about 90, they changed the manufacturer that they bought her meds from. And it changed the shape of it. And I just happened to go home that weekend and my grandmama say, baby, go in there looking there. I ain't taking that pill because it don't look right. She said, I don't call the pharmacist. This is my 90-year-old grandmother, y'all. She called them. She said, this pill don't look like my pill been looking. And the pharmacist laughed. He said, Miss Quaker, you 90 years old. He said, very few people even pay attention to that fact. But what it did for him, he said, you know what? that's less for us. We should have told you
Mm-hmm.
that we
Mm-hmm.
had to change who made the pill.
That's
But the good thing, I always tell my folks, if stuff don't be looking the same, you need to say something. So my
absolutely.
90-year-old grandmama, she was like, I ain't taking this pill. Y'all ain't finna kill me. And
That's right.
you can imagine
Mm-hmm.
it happens.
It does.
Yeah.
You
It
all,
does.
things happen, not hopefully not intentionally. We got a little extra people out here. We just have to pray. But just have a conversation. Don't go out here and put somebody on blast, and don't go doing your video.
Mm-hmm.
And then, because you can't call that back, even if you are wrong, you will not undo the damage
Mm-hmm.
that you've done. And now, I mean, I love it. I
Yeah.
love y'all. I mean,
Yeah. Thank
for
you.
so many reasons. You all are two Black women that are in a field that very few of us are in. Number one, it ain't cheap. You got to sacrifice a lot. And you all, we want them to make a good living because they have gone to school and had to take some hard tests. I know the few little pharmacology tests I took in nursing school. I was like, Lord have mercy, Jesus. I was so glad when y'all started calculating and mixing everything. Because let me tell y'all something. There's nothing like the fear of you. Like, I used to double check and recheck because
Mm-hmm.
I did not want to do any harm to anybody. And by transferring that to you all, it changed. It made us not have as many medication errors
Mm-hmm.
and not poor outcomes. Not that you do it intentionally, but when you're working on the floor, taking care of patients under stress, you're not going to be as mentally sharp. So I was glad to see them pre-filled things on the crash cart, the whole night. I was like, thank you, Jesus. This is
And
taking
I
the
think,
light off of me.
yeah, and I think, I mean, that's our role. And that's one of the things that Dr. Jennifer and I are trying to do. Just going out and educating people to shift the mindset, to kind of change the paradigm on what pharmacists do. So many people, and I was actually speaking with a researcher at UAB today. We're working on a research project, and we were telling her about the things that we do on the consulting side of our business. Because, of course, we have MedsPlus Consulting, and then we have MedsPlus Pharmacy. So we were talking about some of the things that we do on the consulting side, and she was like, "What? I didn't know pharmacists did that. I thought y'all just put the medicine in the bottle." And that's what the majority of people think, that we're just back there counting pills by five and put it and slapping a label on it, as people say. But we are doctors of pharmacy. We have full-fledged doctorate degrees where we have learned, like you said, Miss Valerie, pharmacology. We have
Yeah.
learned anatomy and physiology, medicinal chemistry, biochemistry. We know we are the medication experts. So MedsPlus, Dr. Jennifer and Dr. Pauline are out here shifting the mindset of the community regarding what pharmacists do. We not only can educate you about your medications, but we can educate you about what it means to have diabetes or COPD or
Yes.
heart disease. We can educate you on lifestyle and behavioral modifications that you can make in order to improve them. Those conditions. We can educate you on supplements and vitamins that you can take that may give you a natural approach to improving your health conditions. And then we can serve as the advocate between you and your healthcare provider to make sure you achieve those optimal outcomes. So it is definitely not just about counting by five and slapping a label on it.
Hey, and then handing it to you through the window, huh? And
Exactly.
look, you know what I hate more than anything? Back in the day, they used to ask you if you had any questions. Now they got it on a piece of paper where you sign. I ain't got. It's almost like don't ask us nothing today. We
Right.
busy. We ain't got time for all of that. We don't have
Unfortunately,
time
it's
for.
like that. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
unfortunately, it's like that. But, a lot of times we're the last person you see after you've seen your healthcare provider and before you head
Oh,
home.
look, you touched my heart. I got to put this up here. I am so proud of these three beautiful Black professionals. This is something we have not always had in our community. We have to support these women, a nurse and two pharmacists. Thank you for what you're doing. And you all, as much as we're showing up in spaces, we still are there in low numbers.
Mhm.
I always tell people this, especially in Birmingham, we can kind of get skewed with
Mm,
how many Black people we think are in certain spaces
Mhm.
simply
mm,
because of Birmingham's demographic look.
Mhm.
That
Mhm.
ain't the case, you all.
Mhm. Mhm.
Throughout the whole world, you got to look beyond here and
Yes.
realize that we are truly don't have a lot of representation in a lot of spaces. And
Wow.
even in nursing, when you get up into the higher, there are not a lot of Black faces there, male or female. And one thing I'm loving to see in nursing is how many men, Black men,
Yes.
are going into nursing. You all,
Yes.
I tell anybody this: nursing is one of the quickest ways, educational wise, out of poverty.
Mm. Oh yeah.
If you can't go to 2-year RN, you can get an LPN. You
Mm-hmm.
can work, you can get your 2-year.
Mm-hmm.
Then they got the duo, baby. You can step your way
That's right.
out of poverty through
That's right.
nursing.
That's right.
So all y'all been running around here doing things, caring for people.
Mm-hmm.
Consider that
Yeah.
and pray and ask God if that's your passion. The job I posted earlier, God's sitting partner. People tried to get her to go to nursing school, but she loves home care.
Mm-hmm.
She this is back in the newspaper day. She read an ad. She said, this lady over in Mount Brook, she said, I ain't know nothing but taking care of my grandmama and them and all this. I went over there. The lady hired me. She now owns this.
Wow.
God sitting partners. Her name is Quateria Bryan. I'm gonna have her on as well. 5 years now.
Wow.
She owns her business, and she said, "I told people I could have been a nurse, but that's not what God called me to be."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you all, it's a way. So I'm proud too. I'm so happy to see you all where you are, because every time somebody get a game, we be like, okay, that's another crack in the ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
Cause y'all, we ain't broke through. We still cracking it, okay?
We
We
are
still
still
cracking.
hammering away.
Yeah,
Yes.
we still doing that. So
Yeah.
don't y'all go to sleep. Don't y'all
Mm-mm.
go to sleep and
Please.
think, cause they got this pharmacy. And there's another Black owned pharmacist here, just happened to be in the Hoover area. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
have her on as well. And no, Jennifer and them ain't jealous. Guess what? They work together.
That's
They
right.
work
That's
together.
right. We're family.
Listen,
We're family.
between
That's right.
between the two of them, if they had 10 of them, they could not fill out prescriptions of all
Mm-mm.
the people that need it. So that's another thing to learn. You
Mm-hmm.
don't have to
Mm-hmm.
be competition with people. You could be a collaborator. Now
That's it.
they be in competition with Big Pharma because we trying to shift. Okay,
That's
I need y'all to be calling them. No excuse. I don't type this. I don't put their address and phone numbers in here about 4 or 5 times. You
mm-hmm.
ain't got no excuse for not having it. Okay, I, I just want y'all to know.
Yeah,
Go
yeah.
on and change today,
Yes.
tomorrow.
Yes. Change is
Change,
good.
change
And
Yeah.
at
tomorrow.
least, I mean, and you know, like Jennifer said, a lot of people are afraid of change. We're just asking for a chance to be able to serve you. So give us a call. I mean, we actually had a guy who sent one script. He had his doctor send one script in. And so he came. I mean, this is so funny. He came to pick up. Nice gentleman. I mean, super nice. So we go out and talk. We're cutting up in the lobby of our office. And I was like, okay. He said, I'm gonna give you one chance. And I said, okay. So he came back to get his refill. It was a 90-day supply. So about 3 months later, he came back to get his refill. I was like, oh, you back? He was like, yeah, yeah. And I said, well, you came back. So obviously we must have done something right. When we getting some more scripts? He's like, well, we just gonna hang out here. The next time we look around, he sent a second script in.
Oh my
So when he came
God.
to pick up, we were kind of cutting up with him about that. And literally, he has 2 prescriptions, and he's on more, but he has 2 prescriptions, and we're not pressuring him. He's moving at his own pace. But we got the one script. We I guess moved past that point, and now we have his second one. So if you don't want to change all of your prescriptions, give us a try. Just see how you like it, and then we guarantee you'll be back.
I'm gonna put Jesus and the Holy Ghost on all y'all tonight. I'm gonna pray over that thing. Take the Nestea plunge.
There you go.
Just jump on in. Just jump
That's
on
it.
in. I mean, I didn't even get to rail the boat. We changing our. We changing. That's it. We
It's
just
easy.
changing.
It's easy.
Yeah.
It's
You
really
call us,
easy.
and that's a lot of people are confused about the process. Literally, you
Mhm.
call our pharmacy, or you can email us, go to our website, whatever you want to do. Give us your name, your birth date, and where you're currently getting your prescriptions, and we take care of the rest. It's that easy.
And for those of you worried about, well, I just got my prescription filled. I don't, you can still transfer it, and they will tell you when you get to the end, call, and they will start your prescription based on when you say refill it. So listen, we just killed all excuses tonight, okay?
Exactly. Yes.
Boom, crushing
Let's
them,
break down those barriers. Exactly.
crushing them,
Yes.
crushing. And look, let me make this clear: they just don't want Black folks; they want all folks.
This is true.
Right.
But I'm a firm believer. We have got to start supporting us. You all, I sat down, me and one of my friends sat down and talked about in South Alabama. We counted up when I grew up over 40 Black-owned businesses. And I thought about when you grow up in something, it's not abnormal.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the businesses that was there, it was an ice cream shop. It was called the Four Corners Ice Cream. It was always in our community. It was nothing strange. But as you get into the world and realize truly, the differences and jadedness that you get, you was like, wow,
Mm-hmm.
they had an ice cream shop when I was growing up.
Mm-hmm.
And the other side of that is we are phenomenal, smart people.
That's right.
We just need an opportunity
Mm-hmm.
and the
Right.
support
Mm-hmm.
to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
And when we go to the bank and we need the loan,
Mm-hmm.
like everyone else does, without all of the drama.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't want anything given to us. We want an opportunity
Mm-hmm.
Right.
to just be successful in the same help that you would give anybody else. If I walk in with an 800 credit score and there's 1.5%, I want the same thing.
That's right.
I want the same thing.
No handout.
Y'all got to do, for those y'all that are customers, your assignment is to go do a testimony on all their platforms, Facebook, Instagram, wherever, and say how great they are, the Google reviews, all of that. And I need you to recruit at least 2 other people back before Thanksgiving. I'm giving y'all tight deadlines. I almost said the end of the year. By Thanksgiving.
Challenge.
Transfer, because I'm working on mine. I'm telling everybody I know, and I'm gonna fight them if they don't do it. I'm gonna fight them if they don't do it. And the next event you have, you will be inviting them. And guess what they do? I told you about the other Black pharmacy. If they can't get there, they work together. And they share things. Hey, you get this. We're gonna get this.
Mm-hmm.
That's building each other up. When you're not selfish, God is going to reward you all.
Mm-hmm.
Amen.
So I want you all to do those assignments now. If you don't, I'm going to know. Because the Holy Spirit going to reveal it to me. So I'm going to know. So look, it's 7:56. Look, I'm going to give each of you all, we close both ways. If you want to do a soapbox, something that just like, in the world that just grate your nerves, or if you want to give a motivational something. So you choose. So I start with you, Dr. Pauline.
Okay. So I try to motivate people. Dr. Jennifer and I definitely, I sometimes call it a leap of faith. I sometimes call it a jog of faith because it's not a one-time thing. But I would urge everybody that if you're feeling led to do something, if you're feeling called to do something that makes you nervous, that makes your knees shake, definitely step out there and do it. You don't have to jump per se, but at least start taking a step in the right direction, because wherever you are, and I've told so many people this who have asked me about our entrepreneur journey and what it felt like to leave a full-time good job to start a business, is that it is scary as can be. But if you start walking in the right direction, God will meet you there, and what you need, He will place in front of you. And so you have to believe that. And Dr. Jennifer and I, we have little pick me up conversations all the time, because it is hard. Owning a pharmacy is hard. It's expensive. It takes a lot of sacrifice, but we know that God called us to this work. And because He called us, He will provide for this work. And so whatever it is that you're feeling led to do, you're feeling called to do, start heading in that direction, and God will place what you need in front of you. And that's my little motivational moment.
Okay. So Dr. Jennifer, what you got to tell the people?
Well, I would like to tell the people that these are some, and when I say trying times, we're at the cusp of some changes like we've never seen before in the world. And to make sure that you set time aside for yourself.
Yeah.
Make sure that you have a good self-care routine, and it's even been called radical self-care. So that means taking care of your mental, not getting overloaded on the socials, on the news. Make
Yeah.
sure that you have time, your meditation time, your God time, your listening time, all of that. We're about to go through some things that we thought COVID was bad. So making sure that our faith is secure, that we're anchored, rooted um, in God, and making sure that when things start to get overwhelming, that let's not look too far into the future, but even if tomorrow is too much for you, focus on today. If today
Yeah.
is too much
Good.
for you, focus on the next hour. If the next hour is too much, pull it back for the next minute. And just like we got through before, God is going to provide for us again. But we've got to continue to be focused, to take care of ourselves and our families, and not get so caught up in the world, because we're in the world, but not of the world. And to continue to remember that and rely on our faith, because we got this and God got us.
That's right. That's right. And you may have to make some adjustments.
Mhm.
You look, if you have to forego your vacation, guess what? Some of the people in your family, they've never been able to afford a vacation. You're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Some of
Mhm.
the things that we have made needs that we gotta have,
I really
you'll
just
figure it out.
Mhm.
Hey, you may like filet mignon, but guess what? You'll go in there and fix your bologna sandwich. You will.
Salmon
You eat
croquette.
your
peanut butter and jelly.
Hey, listen, you eat your egg sandwich, okay? And be just happy. And
That's
be, like Paul said, whatever state we'll be content. But
That's
even with
it.
that, you are, we still speak up. We
Mhm.
still become advocates. And we always know, it's something my pastor always say, we're not fighting for victory, we're fighting from victory if you are a
Oh yes,
believer in the Lord Jesus Christ. We've
that's
already won. This is
Mhm.
temporary for us. And
Amen.
I shared with somebody the other day. I said, y'all, no matter what happens in the next 4 years or whatever, the next 10 years, what our four folks went through, oh, this
Ooh,
is a light affliction, baby.
That's right. That's right.
ooh, love it.
We listen, we walk into our garages.
Mhm.
Hey, as old folks say, ain't none of y'all had to heish no window up to get a breeze. And if your air conditioner go out, you on the clock getting that baby fixed.
That's
So
true.
it may be necessary for something harsh to happen to get us back focused
Mhm.
Mhm.
on what's important and
That's
and
right.
what's matter. Look, I'm loving P Fox, and she said, "Y'all preaching tonight." And I was gonna go back. Everybody's talking about what the weather farmers. I saw Latoya. What's her name? I think she worked with the organ. They don't call it organ donation. What's the new name for the organ center now? I can't
Legacy of
think of the
hope.
Legacy
name.
of hope. Legacy of hope.
Yeah, Legacy of Hope. I think I saw
Mhm.
her put a comment in here earlier. Everything was going so fast. So, ladies, I have enjoyed you all. This has been
Yes.
wonderful. Y'all know I'm promoting.
Yeah. Thank
Y'all
you
know
so
I'm
much.
Amen.
promoting.
Thank
Look,
you.
hey, if y'all need help with delivery, hey, weekend or whatever, call me. And listen, I ain't talking about being paid, y'all. Let me tell y'all something. Everything about being paid, some things about helping.
Mhm.
That's another
Wow.
thing. Some things about helping.
Thank
Some
you.
things about sowing a seed. Okay.
Mhm.
Mm.
We don't think about that. Y'all volunteer for other stuff. Volunteer.
That's true.
Volunteer.
Ooh,
Mhm.
Y'all,
like
we got to
that.
come together. We got to
That's
come
right.
together to support and
Yes,
build
ma'am.
up. And then when it get built up, if you make look, if you sacrifice and help, Dr. Jennifer Ponce, hey, we got a position for such and such. Hey, I'm moving toward
Mhm.
retirement. I hopefully in a couple of years, I can be down there answering the phone.
Come on, come on.
Uber for MedsPlus consultant.
I
That's what
love
you
it.
can
I
do.
love it.
That's what you can do.
Mhm,
So just think about that.
mhm.
Think about that. So
Yeah.
look, we had a wonderful show. I really enjoyed you all, and y'all know y'all gonna be back at the start. And anywhere else I can promote for you all to be with
Thank
the
you.
you D9 people out there. Call them. Call them. All right, take that down. I ain't tell you to put that up.
Oh my
Take
goodness.
that, take that down. I ain't tell you to put that up. I'm gonna let her slide. But Z, that's all I'm gonna say.
That's all right. It's all love. It's all love. We
Okay,
sisters.
Jennifer, you a D9.
No, ma'am.
Okay, then. Okay, that you okay. It ain't for
That's right.
everybody. That's
That's
right.
right.
I tell people. So anyway, you all have a wonderful night, and y'all next week, y'all be praying. Got Thursdays with Tiff. Uh,
Okay.
we've
Or
been
P
we
Fox and
started.
Fox joined in on the D9 fund.
Oh, okay, then that'll work. Look, you all. Tiff is gonna be here with us next week, and you all know, she's a attorney that lives in where Tiff live? Tuskegee. And you all be praying for Tuskegee. That terrible
Mhm.
shooting that was so tragic. And
Terrible.
Yes.
we actually we know the family of the shooter.
Mm,
Mm,
So pray for that family
mm,
because they are devastated, the young
mhm.
man that did this. And of course, y'all know I don't do a whole lot of politics, but we're gonna talk about the election and try to help people figure out how to navigate this well.
Mhm.
mm,
Navigate this well, because the Bible does say whomever is in leadership, God has allowed them to be
That's
they
right.
good or bad. I actually went and looked up. Israel had 55 bad kings
Mm,
and only
mm,
5 or 6 good kings. And y'all, they did not have the bad kings because God didn't care about them. They
mm,
had the bad kings because of their rebellion.
mm.
mm.
So it wasn't God, it was the people. So let that sit in your spirit
Right.
Mm.
about why they had to go through. So she's going to be on next week. And I'll
Okay.
give y'all a heads up. My last show for the year and probably to early spring is going to be December 4th. I have an online class I need to finish. And the only way I'm going to finish it is to just go silent. Just got to do what I got to do and then regroup some things. So you all have a wonderful night. And as I
Mhm.
said, let's put it back up here. Dr. Jennifer Campbell and Dr. Pauline Long.
Mhm.
Here's the email information and the website.
Mhm.
You can find them on Facebook, IG, and everywhere else. And then before I log off, I'm going to drop all of their address and everything in this chat. No excuse. And do your homework.
Yes.
Do your homework.
Yeah.
Recruit, recruit, recruit. Give them that Christmas gift.
Two
Yes.
people or more.
That's